these moments in the past, I just can't seem to let it go right now. No. And they keep playing back in my mind. I swear I let it go so many times. Oh man, this shit keeps haunting me. You got me up all night. Oh baby, thinking about what we could have been.
Hey everybody, Dana Star here. Thanks for joining me today. So today's video is all about faux locks, and this style is like super hot and trendy right now. It has been for the past couple of years, and it's for a good reason because just about everybody looks beautiful with them. So in my video, I'm going to be sharing the specifications on what I use to install these. I'm going to show you a demo video on how to do them. I'm going to share my overall thoughts on the whole experience of wearing them, and I'm also going to share a few tips. So let's get into it. Okay, so here are the specs. I use two different types of hair to achieve this look. The first hair type is the Vivica Fox hair collection, and this is their jumbo Kanekalon braiding hair in the color 1. I used 3 packs of this hair, and I used Model Natural Chunky Twist 100% Kanekalon hair, also in the color 1. So here's the method that I used. Using the Vivica Fox braiding hair, I created an individual box braid for each lock, braiding it with my natural hair. And this is really important. Before braiding your hair, you want to make sure you moisturize it with the moisturizer of your choice. And as far as the length goes, I decided to do bra strap length. So once I finished the box braid, I used the model hair and wrapped it around the braid, creating that faux lock look. Before I wrapped the braid with the model hair, I took about an inch of the hair and lined it along the very top of my braid. Now I did this to try to keep my locks from unraveling or fraying at the top. That part's optional. Next, I began to wrap the hair around the braid along with the 1 inch of hair aligned with it. Sorry for the bad lighting and the focus, but I think this should give y'all a good idea of what to do. As you're wrapping the hair, of course you want to make sure it's tight and secure. Once you get down to the bottom of it, you shouldn't be able to see any of the braid through the top layer of hair. This process took me 10 hours to complete. Now, as you wrap the hair around the braid, I suggest using the scrunch motion that you see me do right there to push the hair up as you wrap it down the length of the braid to make sure it's a nice, solid, smooth look. So you'll probably reach a point where you need to reach for another piece of hair to finish the lock. I pretty much used about 2 pieces of hair for each lock, and once I got to that point, I began using that second piece of hair exactly how I began at the top of the lock, as you can see. So once I got the lock to my desired length, I grabbed the model hair in my right hand and the braid in my left hand and tied them into a knot, making sure the braid was being pulled through the loop. Yeah. It seemed like premonition. I see me reminiscing. Late nights in the kitchen. I told you that you taste like chicken. Stuck in memory lane, driving me out of. You want to make sure you pull the knot really tight, and the braid should be hanging from the bottom of it once you finish.
Our favorite spot just to rock, sips of rock with some soda. Me with my whiskey, we frisky, don't act like you don't miss me. You know I miss you too, the issue was never our history. But it's just too much to adjust, frustrated with the trust.
Next up, you're going to just snip the excess hair from each end, and make sure you don't cut it too closely to the bottom of the knot because you don't want it to unravel.
Thinking about what we could have been. You got me up on
Then you can go ahead and burn the tip of the lock with your lighter, and right after, you're going to roll it in the palm of your hands to create that nice smooth lock finish. I decided to go back and burn it a second time because I wanted it to look a little bit smoother, but you don't have to burn the tips twice. And that's it, 10 hours later. So here are my overall thoughts and tips that I have for you guys. One, I really like this style. It's beautiful. It grew on me. It took a while. Like, I would say the first week or two, I was like, I'm not feeling this style because it got really fuzzy. I'm not sure. It probably has something to do with the type of hair that I use, but it got very fuzzy and I wasn't feeling it. Like, who wants a bunch of frizz and fuzz on their hair the week after they do it? But then I realized that it kind of started to look more like a natural lock, so it wasn't so much a bad thing. I think that this is an awesome way to test out a lock style. Obviously, these are faux, meaning fake locks, but if you are someone like myself who's ever considered locking their natural hair, this is a great way to give yourself a preview and see if it actually works for you, if it's something that you really would want to commit to. Here's one big tip. If you are trying this in the winter months and the colder months, try to stay away from sweaters. Like, I think I wore 2 sweaters since I've had this style in for the past month, and your hair basically turns into the sweater that you're wearing. So, like, no, it's like the tips from being burnt, they're very like sticky. They definitely feel like Velcro, and it basically like latches onto your sweater and snatches the material from it. Like, I went to a party and I was so embarrassed because it was the first time I was wearing a sweater. I had no clue what was going to happen, and when I looked at myself in the mirror, the tips of my hair were burgundy. I'm like, what in the world? Like, one other tip I have is to just make sure you're very conscious of your edges and your nape area. You know, with any braided style, whether it's weave or your natural hair, when you braid too tight, you will get those little bumps, which essentially means that your hair is slowly being pulled from the scalp. Just make sure you let your stylist know. Be gentle around those areas, and if you're doing them yourself, obviously be aware, you know, don't braid too tight. And they look great when you don't braid them too tight. It looks fine. So that's pretty much it for this video. I really hope that I hit the major points that everyone was looking for. If I missed anything, please feel free to comment below with questions or whatever. I definitely recommend that everyone try this style if you have the patience to sit down and get them done. Yeah, go for it. Bye.